Hello, I'm Dr. Michael Bookhardt. Come join us at our newest clinic location at Good Faith Wellness Center. We provide compassionate health care for your entire family, from virtual visits to office appointments. We're committed to providing the best care. We accept all insurances and we provide monthly wellness plans. Let's start your family journey to a healthier, happier life. Schedule Hello, I'm Dr. Michael Bookhardt. Come join us at our newest clinic location at Good Faith Wellness Center. We provide compassionate health care for your entire family, from virtual visits to office appointments. We're committed to providing the best care. We accept all insurances and we provide monthly wellness plans. Let's start your family journey to a healthier, happier life. Schedule your appointment today. And remember, true wealth begins with good health. Hello, I'm Dr. Michael Bookhardt. Come join us at our newest clinic location at Good Faith Wellness Center. We provide compassionate health care for your entire family, from virtual visits to office appointments. We're committed to providing the best care. We accept all insurances and we provide monthly wellness plans. Let's start your family journey to a healthier, happier life. Schedule your appointment today. And remember, true wealth begins with good health. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Telehealth Tuesday. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Bookhardt, and tonight we have a very, very special episode lined up just for you. But look, before I tell you all about our next guest, I want to let you know that Telehealth Tuesday can be viewed on multiple platforms. That's right. Dr. B TV on YouTube. That's right. Say it with me. Doctor, the word spelled out DOCTOR. The letter B is in boy, TV. That's Dr. B TV on YouTube, our YouTube channel. So make sure to follow, share, tag, like, and most importantly, to subscribe to support this amazing program. You can also find us on our Good Faith Wellness Center clinic page on Facebook and also Instagram alike. Now, let's get right to it. I know we're just a few minutes behind. I want to tell you all about this amazing gentleman, Mr. Jarvis Robinson. You got, with our people, you got to use the middle in this, Jarvis J. Robinson, okay? This gentleman is a Mississippi entrepreneur, justice system innovator, community advocate with more than 15 years of experience supporting families and strengthening public safety across the state. He's a graduate of Crystal Springs High School and Jackson State University with a bachelor's in entrepreneurship. He owns Confidential Bonding, which is a statewide bail bond agency, and also he co-owns Sparrow Court Services, which is a pretrial services company specializing in GPS monitoring, alcohol testing, and victim safety technology. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a whole lot more on this gentleman's bio, his resume that I can share, but I want to welcome right now, let's get right to the meat of it, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jarvis J. Robinson. Give it to him. All right. How you feeling, my brother? I think you might
I'm feeling good. Uh-oh. You got me?
Okay, I got you now.
Yeah, it sounds a lot better when people read it off than when you sit and look at it yourself sometimes.
Absolutely, man. I know a lot of people say every week, they say, man, that sounds like, is that me? You talking about me?
Yeah, good. It sounds funny when other people say it.
Yeah, man. How you feeling?
Fantastic, man. Look, we getting started. It's early in the week, but these weeks go fast. They go very fast.
Yeah, they really do. Tell me, man, so tell us all about yourself. I know that there was some more in your bio. I didn't want to be too long. So if there was something that I missed or that you want the audience to know about you, man, the floor is all yours.
No, man, you covered a lot of it. I graduated from Crystal Springs High School. I went to Jackson State after that and got my bachelor's. The main thing is that I try to partner with as many people as I can in the community to kind of bridge those gaps, because that's what it's about. That's why we do these things. That's why you kind of doing what you're doing. We can connect those people together, whether it's whichever organization that reaches out, whether it's a bail expungement clinic or anything like that. I try my best to make sure that I be there to fill in the gap.
So how was your experience growing up in Crystal Springs? I know we got to shout out to Shell's Kitchen, a mutual friend of ours who's from there. Man, tell us how was life in Crystal Springs, and then what got you to come on over to Jackson?
Gotcha. Right now I currently live in Brookhaven, Mississippi.
Okay.
And I'm from Crystal Springs. Crystal Springs is a small town. It's about 20 minutes south of Jackson. If you hadn't been there, most people either know the meat house when you're from Crystal Springs, Wilson's Meat House, or they know what they call it, the crack chicken place in Crystal Springs where they serve the good fried chicken.
Oh.
Yeah, they mainly know those two places. But from there, once I started, I got family in Jackson, so I was in Jackson a lot. And it's almost a tradition in my family to go to Jackson State. So I followed on there. I do have an uncle that's been in the business about 32 years doing the same thing. And so once I graduated, I tried my hand at some other stuff, but the mission was always to be an entrepreneur. So I put my hand in this and I kept it for a while and kind of kept it in my back pocket as I did some other things. But one thing I do know from entrepreneurship, nobody was going to pay me like I wanted to be paid. So
that's right.
In the midst of having a family and kids, that kind of went along, and I had some other jobs at the same time. But once I hit that stride, probably in the past 6 years of being completely self-employed, I wouldn't trade it for anything, because I do like to be kind of on my own schedule, kind of doing my own thing. So that was a great incentive to stay self-employed, to where I don't have to punch that clock every day. I commend people that can go to
Absolutely.
work every single day and hit that clock and don't be late and show their faithfulness to show up like they do to a job. I definitely do, but it's just kind of not my thing. If you know what I mean, I'd rather do it a different way.
Absolutely. Let's see. Well, we're going to get right to it. We've got a lot of amazing ground to cover, and so we'll get right into it. Um, One of our first topics we wanted to talk about, since especially given what you do and how you give back to the community. In your opinion, what would you say that raising strong kids? What does that look like to you, and especially in today's world, and especially in our communities?
Strong kids now, I think you have to start with their mental health right off the bat
Hmm.
because they're facing challenges that we didn't even know existed. You know, I'm in my 40s. So when you were younger, when I was younger, maybe if you lost that fight, you just lost the fight, and you might have one friend to say, "Hey man, he got him a couple
Hmm.
licks in." The other friend say, "No, it was a tie." But now these kids record everything.
Man.
So if something bad happens to you, you relive that trauma over and over and over. And even if you forget it, social media will show you the anniversary of your trauma. So
Mm.
these kids want to avoid the trauma at all costs. So rather than take a L in fighting and y'all be friends later, they feel like they got to
Hmm.
kill the next person. You get what I'm saying? That they people really now fear being embarrassed via the internet. You
Mm.
understand what I'm saying? So these kids' mental, it's not set up the way it once was because everybody has social media. Social media is one of the number one perpetrators because even if you think you got to let it go or you can let
Mm.
it go, somebody's gonna say, "Look what they're saying about you on social media."
Look what
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
got to prep these kids mentally because even if you try to keep them away from it, somebody's gonna tell them what they see, you know, on there. So I think that's one of the big things: watching their mental health, watching how it may affect them. Um, if you see somebody that doesn't want to be on social media, sometimes that's a sign as well, because they may not can take it mentally. They may not be that person where we just had the shy kid. Now it's amplified. You know, you could be ridiculed because you're not on here. You take a picture, you ain't got the nicest clothes. All those things that we went through in high school and junior high, being teased, all of it's multiplied. And if you get it in the right circle, you have grown-ups joining in on the gag. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because some of us don't know no better. If we being honest about it, some of us
Absolutely.
don't know any better.
That's
So
right.
building a strong kid, now you got to start with the mind. They used to want us to, oh, do some push-ups, get yourself strong so you can defend yourself. But now I
Hmm.
think it starts with the mind to be able to defend yourself against the worldly things that's going on.
So, and that's very interesting. So, do you feel like, I think we put a question right there in the chat? Do you, in well, because I want to piggyback on that. Do you feel like in some ways social media is our enemy?
I think social media is a tool, and we don't realize it's a tool.
Hmm.
And a tool can be used more than one way. Even if we saying it's a gun or a knife, you can take that knife and you can use it for cooking. You can use it to, expand on the talents that you already have, or you can use it to hurt somebody. So I think we have to be very aware of which way the child, the parent, or everybody is using that tool. You get what I'm saying? So even if you got smaller kids, watch how you use that tool, because if the kids see you behaving a certain way or using this thing a certain way, they will mirror or mimic what you're doing.
That's
So
right.
it's hard to kind of tell a kid not to do something on social media and you doing it.
Mm. So yeah, to this almost what do they say? Do as I say and not as I do.
Not as I do. That's what a lot of people are doing. So we have to be very conscious of what we're asking people to do, if that makes sense.
Hmm. That's right. We talked about the kids these days. They're so different than us, and I was wondering. I know that we all talk about it, and sometimes you look at it like, man, I remember either parents or grandparents, and we just like, man, look at these old folks always complaining and talking about us and our generation, and now we have almost become those same folks. Like, man, look at
Right.
these kids running in the church and don't have any discipline. And but yeah, that was one of the first things, because the question when we talked about, for those, I see a few new faces for those that are just joining. We were talking about parenting and rearing children, and the question was raising strong kids. What does that look like today? But the other thing, a secondary question was, how can parents balance being a friend and still maintaining discipline with their children? Or is that even possible?
It's possible, but I want to say it's almost like an illusion, because like when we were young, your parents say, "Just tell me I'm your friend," and that's a trick at the end of the day, because
That's right.
depending on what it is, you're still gonna get in trouble. It may
That's
just
right.
not be as bad. I think us as parents, we work on the work-life balance so we can enjoy ourselves, but we also got to work on the work-life balance so we can parent our kids as well. Because
Mm-hmm.
if we too busy worried about our social life and what we got to do at work, sometimes we forget about the key.
Mm.
So you drop the ball in between. So that kind of falls between the cracks. So a lot of times, and you probably hear me repeat this a lot because I said to people, you got to fill in those gaps. You know,
Filling the
if
gaps.
you're not around a lot, your kid is going. No, I know everybody got to go to work, but if you can make time for some of the stuff that we make time for, you can make
Mm-hmm.
time for them kids. And another one is knowing where they are, knowing where they are. We live in a society where people would rather track they mate than track their child.
Say that again, brother. That's for the people in the back.
They would rather track they mate than track their own child. So they need to know where the mate is 24/7, but don't know where the child is. And it all comes down to just where were you? Because now you got to ask the parent when the child gets into something they ain't got no business, and the cops come around and say, "Hey, we found him. It was 12 midnight. Where were you?" Oh, I was such. We all got to be accountable for that. Because it's our child. Some people, I can't do nothing with them. You can do something with them,
Yep. They just
because
they. Mhm.
you're doing things. It usually is some signs there. So yeah,
Yeah, and they.
those are the two of the main things. Make time for them where they
Hmm.
don't have a lot of time to kind of go get into things, and
Hmm.
also make sure that you know where your kids are.
That and when you talked about yeah, I either throw your hands up, I can't do anything with them, and they just kind of send them on over to Brentwood Behavioral, and just throw them in the psych ward and all that kind of stuff. And
Well,
Dexter
even if you get in
Mayberry.
on the
Oh, go
subject
ahead.
of Brentwoods and facilities like that,
Hmm.
most of them are full.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And parents have to understand that
But
too.
they are.
The same place that you send people with mental health problems is the same place they send people with behavioral problems.
Hmm.
The
That's
system,
right.
the system don't differentiate. You get what I'm saying? So if you just locked up, you
Right. Right.
locked up. I saw a question or a
That's
statement. What did it say? Oh, parents don't set boundaries.
yeah.
Yeah,
Dexter Mayberry.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have to set some hard
Ministry.
boundaries. You have to set hard boundaries.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. I'm with you, Dexter. Good to
Yeah.
see you again, as always. And then last question on this topic was, what are some of the early warning signs that a child may be heading down the wrong path, and how should parents respond to that?
You have to treat these kids hard as be hard on them, not in a way that makes them feel locked down, but you got to be hard on them. You need to know who your kids' friends are. And see, in the world of social media, a lot of us don't even know who the kids' friends are. You
Hmm.
know, if you said, who are your child? If I said, hey, who are your child's closest friends? If you don't know any of them, you got
Most
a
people.
problem on your hands, because you don't know what that person is sowing into your kid or what they teaching you. Because whatever we don't teach them at home, I guarantee you the streets will teach them. A lot of bad habits we don't pick up at home. We pick up at the school or in the streets, somewhere like that. Um, Being secretive. That's another one. We found out that kids have guns in their room, fully automatic weapons, semi-automatic weapons in their room, And the parents say I had no clue. I don't know. I
No
don't know.
clue.
You know, my parents was probing and plundering all up through my stuff. I didn't have nothing. They'll tell you quick, this ain't your house. I just let you live here. This is my house. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
you're right, right.
So you got to kind of be up in them kids' business and check those cell phones. Check the cell phones. You got to check the cell phones. If they don't even want you to touch that phone in no way, shape, or form,
Red
you
flag.
it's a red flag. And even if you say, hey, look, I'll sit here, but I need to see who you talking to. You ain't
Mm,
got to read the messages because they might be talking about you, but you
right.
might want to know who they talking to. You get what I'm saying? Because they can talk through gamer chat now. If they playing Xbox a lot, if they playing
Mhm.
PlayStation a lot, people are telling them all types of stuff. You know, they might not even be actually playing the game. They can just be sitting there. So you just got to watch for behaviors and watch for things that they're doing, or sit with them while they're doing it, and you can pick up on what's going on.
That's right. So now we'll pivot to. I know that you are the founder and CEO of your bail bondsman company. Tell us all about that. You know, I know you said was it your uncle or something? Did they have a company
Yeah,
like that
I
before?
have an uncle. He does the same thing. His name's Dwayne Thompson. He's a Jackson State graduate as well.
All right.
Um,
ASU.
yeah, and he talked to me a while about ownership. Like that was a big thing for us. Ownership, having something that people can't just take away from you. Cut your water off when they feel like it. You make them mad. You know, make your boss mad. They
Mhm.
retaliate. We
That's
all
right.
done work these jobs where you make your boss mad. They retaliate against you. So that was how I got into it. He's been in the business about 33, 35 years, something of that sort. And
Hmm.
so I kind of just followed in, and we still do business together to this day. And we two separate companies, but we do a lot of business together.
Man, that's amazing. I wish that so many more people in our community had that same mindset because we talk about it, and so many more people from other persuasions and ethnicities they seem to get it.
Right.
It's like we in the minority, in the African American community, we don't get that. It's like other people, even though that's your actual blood uncle, they would see him as competition and like, well, no, I can't work with him. That's my competition. That
hmm
crazy mentality, the crabs in the barrel. So I'm just glad to see it, man.
I think I
We
think a
really
lot
need
of
to
times when
let
it
more people
comes
see that.
to our community, sometimes it's some of our first times having money. And when you give a person some money, or they see you with they see, "Hey, man, Dr. B got some money, he got some good going." Instead of kind of learning from you and learning the game and learning how to be like you, they get into wanting to be you. And if they want to
Be
be you, they got to kill you to be you. So they'd rather cut your throat and try to steal your stuff instead of just kind of getting beside you. And now we got two black doctors. We got three black doctors. Now y'all got a whole practice together where three, four of y'all in the building. But it's just hard because, like you said, it turns into a competition.
it's crazy, man. That's why we just put on there the caption: two heads is better than one. So
Mm-hmm.
say we have to work together, man. We got to work together. Well, on that topic, so getting out of jail the right way. So when someone gets out of jail, what would you say are the first three things that someone should focus on to get their life back on track? First three things.
The number one is gonna make sure you got some employment, because all this stuff revolves around money. I would be remiss or be foolish to sit here and tell y'all that money isn't involved, because that's what's gonna grease the tracks and make this thing go smooth. You got a little bit of money. You might not got it all, but make sure you're providing yourself with some type of income to take care of the fines that you may occur, to make sure that you don't slip back to the next thing I was gonna say, to the same environment that you just came from.
Hmm.
Because if you slip back into the same environment and everybody's doing the same thing, you're most likely going to repeat or
That's right.
just be a victim of happenstance by being there. And I think lastly is work on empowering yourself to take control of your life. Some people have hiccups and some people become repeat offenders, but at some point in time, you've got to try your best to kind of empower yourself and motivate yourself to take control. You
Hmm.
know, because no matter it's me or you, it may be a time where we wanted to quit doing what we wanted to do because we got in a tough spot. But we
Mm-hmm.
have to be self motivated and empower ourselves to say, hey, we're gonna change that. You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna do something a little different.
Yep. I could not agree more. Um, and then, so you said, what employment is definitely the primary thing, and we want to
Environment.
make an
Environment.
environment. Hmm.
That's a big one because if you're hanging around some of the things when you get a felony, one of the first things they say you is tell you is not to be around other felons. And you know, it can be hard to do depending on where you come from,
Hmm.
but you have to at least try, if that makes any sense. You got to try to get yourself out of these situations, and whether you was stealing pork chops out of the store to get your money, sometimes that may be what you have to do,
That's
but
right.
you may need to look at a different way of doing it. You may have to wash some cars, you may have to cut some grass, whatever it is, or just find somebody to help you out a little bit. But that's where again we got to fill the gaps with some of these people.
So, and then I think it. So we have employment, then environment, and then if we had to choose one additional,
Empowerment.
empowerment. Let's see.
Empowerment, definitely. You have to empower yourself to do better and motivate yourself.
Let's get that on the. I think we completely misspelled that one.
Well, so cool. Look, they got us. We in audio. We
Yeah,
trying to do a
that's
lot at
right.
the
That's
same
right.
time.
Employment, environment, and
And
empowerment.
empowerment,
We
hundred
got
percent.
you. So, and then what? So when a person gets released from jail, and for those of you that are wondering what this has to do with health, well, of course, because we are talking all things. We the first time our first subject was talking about parenting and rearing children, and so we're talking about mental health, which is a significant impact,
Huge one.
not just in our communities but in the world. It's huge. So we're starting kind of chronological order. We start from child. Now, unfortunately, now we've gone to the adult, or either the teenager and the adult stage, where
Hmm.
God forbid, unfortunately, these children have gotten older and have gotten into the system or become a victim of the system. And so now we're talking about getting out of jail the right way. And the question is, so what are some common mistakes that people make after they've been released that would lead them right back into jail or prison?
We gonna start with the first one again. Environment is a huge one. You got to
Environment.
watch that environment that you're around. But we talked about that one already, so we don't got to spend a lot of time on it. I think the next
That's
one
right.
is conquering what fear you have of the system. We have a lot of fear ingrained in us about how the system will do us as black men, black people, however you want to phrase it, or just poor people. Because if you be honest, the system is geared against poor people somewhat.
It is.
So you have to
It truly
kind of
is.
break that fear and go for yourself and kind of educate yourself about what's going on. If you're fearful, you need to go talk to your
Hmm.
judge. You need to talk to your court-appointed lawyer. You may want to go in and talk to a clerk. Don't be scared to go and ask about your own business. You get what I'm saying?
To
So
ask about your own. I'm sorry.
your own business, your own case. If you my
Yeah.
doctor and something's going on with me and I don't understand, I need to say, hey, Dr. B, I need you to slow that down for me. We're using a lot of big words. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So tell me what this is in lay terms. So in court, they'll use a lot of big words, but sometimes you need to tell them to stop. Break this down in lay terms. Most people are willing to do that for you, but you got to break that fear of showing that you don't understand something. You know, these people practice to be attorneys. You practice to be a doctor. I practice to do this. Like, so we're talking in terms that we all understand, so we have to slow it
Hmm.
down sometimes and have to ask people, hey, can you please talk to me about this? Break this down for me. Tell me what this plea is I'm taking. What does this actually mean, Judge? So you have to kind of break that fear.
Yeah, that's right. And by the way, quick subject change, man. I just didn't want to forget because you told me you're in Brookhaven. So now, by the way, I'm seeing the connection. We had Alderwoman, had Jennifer on here. So I'm sure
Yes.
you all know each other. Who the Alderwoman? Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Jennifer.
So
Miss
she's
Jennifer,
doing
we
some
partner up a
amazing things.
lot. We partner up a lot with her
Yeah.
nonprofit, J. Marie Global. So I
J.
definitely
Marie. Yeah.
volunteer
That's
as
right.
much as I can. Um, I volunteer, man, with One Voice if I can up in Jackson with Miss Nashambi. Uh, we got Dr. Ko. She runs a lot of things for people, trans people, because they become targets. Any place where people become targets, I
Right.
try to make myself available. You know, because the first place they're gonna send you is jail. They're
That's
gonna
the
send you to
first
jail first, and I'm faster than a lawyer because the
place.
lawyer got to file a motion to get you out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got to do all these different things and pull these different levers to get you out of jail. But with me, it's a couple pieces of paperwork, and we
So
can worry about that,
right.
on down the road.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because that's one of my questions. Is also a personal question that I have. So with becoming with being having a bail bondsman company, um, so basically, just and like I said, most of us kind of for the most part understand, but just pretend we don't know anything about bail bondsmen. Or maybe somebody's watching who, thank the Lord, has never been to jail and may never
Right.
have had family members. So, would you mind tell us what exactly bail bondsmen do, or like tell us what it's like to have a day in the life? When somebody calls you, you go to the jail or the prison, and then how does it go from there?
So you said one of the first things. You spend a lot of time on the phone
Hmm.
because you get a lot of calls. A lot of people call with questions.
Hmm.
Um, But the simplest way I can put it is that we deal with anything after you get arrested and when you go to court. So we there for that whole process. So
Okay.
when you're paying bail, you're basically paying to be free until you go to court. Once you plead guilty or not guilty, if you plead guilty, we are done doing business. If you plead not guilty, our business continues until that case is done. So if
Okay.
you call me and say, "Hey, I forgot my court date," what's it? I remind you. If you say, "Hey, I don't know which court to go to," I remind you. If you say, "I don't even know who the judge is," I can explain some of these things to you that you may not know because you've never been in trouble before.
Hmm.
So you kind of guide them through it step by step a lot of times. Unfortunately, we do have repeat customers and they know it all too well. But for
Yeah.
some of the first time people, it's jarring and it can be very traumatic. I had two clients a while back, some years ago. Two young ladies had just graduated nursing school.
Mm.
Um, leaving Memphis, going to New Orleans to have a good time to celebrate.
Hmm.
Uh, what they did not know, which some people do not know, that edibles, edibles are illegal.
Yeah.
Edibles are a felony because it's possession of a controlled substance. These young ladies were just having a good time, nicest little girls I ever met, but they almost lost everything they had in one night after just getting a nursing degree
Wow.
because they don't understand how the law works. They thought because you could buy them at a store that it was legal and they was good to go. But once you do that thing, now you got a felony hanging over your head and you in a state that you don't even know nobody. So you have to talk to family, you have to talk to all these different people, and you get a lot of stories. You get the story of how this person got there. And by then, I didn't know those two young ladies, but I remember them because I had to walk with them through that journey.
Hmm.
Fortunately, they got the case throughout,
Okay.
and the
Good.
judge
Good.
showed them mercy.
Good deal.
The judge showed them mercy, but it's just that easy to slip into a situation where you don't know the difference between municipal court, justice court, and circuit court. You don't
Mm.
know any of these things.
Right.
So I answer a lot of questions like that. And even with the other business, the pretrial services business, we handling things like GPS, where they may say, "Hey, look, we not gonna find you guilty, but we gonna put you on GPS for a while to make sure you behave properly, or
Yeah.
you be in, at a certain times."
That's right.
So you do a lot of different things. You spend a lot of time on the phone. You spend a lot of times with the clients. In most cases, big cases aren't over for a year or two. So by then, you've got to kind of know a lot of these people. You kind
Mm.
of know their habits. You know mama, their daddy, whoever else is around them, they mate. So you do a lot of hand holding and guiding to make sure that they don't kind of repeat what's going on, and you have to definitely encourage them to do the right thing, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So
You,
so after you get arrested, the job starts immediately, and it can go on for a year to 2 years, depending on what kind of case you got.
I've got a couple of maybe one or two other follow up questions, but I want to get Kalisha's question because that was going to be one of mine as well. Kalisha, big shout out to you all and your husband with "Hello Black Man." So
Oh
shout out
yeah,
to
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
know,
know, yeah,
Kalisha.
you know. But Kalisha's saying, how are they allowed? This was one of my questions as well because I'm thinking about Bourbon Street, and they have different stores on there that are that are selling. Now we all know Louisiana's a little different,
Right.
but they're selling this stuff on every corner on Bourbon Street. So her question is, how are they allowed to legally sell them in a store if it's a felony?
Right. So, like you said, they brought them from Memphis
Or they were in
into
Memphis.
Mississippi, where
That's
it is illegal, and you get pulled over. And once you get them pulled over, it's only a matter because they don't know what's in the edible. You can tell them it's a THC edible, but they gonna take it to the lab and test it. And from that point on, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance because they don't know what's in it. It could be fentanyl for all they know. So a lot of it is like nuance. And if you don't know these things, a loose pill without the bottle, you getting a felony.
you're still gonna get the felony.
Yeah, like if I got your prescription in my car and they catch me with it, I'm not supposed to have that. So it's a lot of small nuances. I always encourage all my clients to go get them a medical marijuana card. Um, that alleviates a lot of our people's problems because
That's right.
they like to keep them some smoke with them, but you need to know the legal limits. You need to know how much you can have on you. You need to know you still can't smoke and drive because there's still DUI. You
You know,
know, so it's a lot of nuance with how these things work because you run into things that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You run into a lot of special situations.
mm-hmm.
You know, people don't know you can press charges on anybody for anything.
Mm.
It doesn't has to be true. They still gonna pick you up. I can say you assault me, they're gonna pick you up. They gonna take you
So
to jail.
yeah, that's right. So if you just claim anything, you allegedly is what the word. So allegedly, I say that, man, this guy has stalked me. He showed up at my house, or he assaulted me. Without question, they're coming to look for you, and they're going to arrest you.
You're going to jail. You're going to
Just,
jail. And
just
you're gonna
off
have to bond out, or either you're gonna
uh
have to go to court right off the bat. And then that's when you prove your innocence. You get what I'm saying? But you can't recover the money you already lost, whether it's a lawyer or anything.
But even that's now. This is literally just somebody saying, "Hey, this person did it." Like they don't even do any like they don't even ask the accuser for videotape evidence or anything like that. And then,
Nah, you do that when you get to court.
man, I tell you, man,
You do that when you get. It's like me suing you
man,
for any type of civil debt. They gonna call you to court. It doesn't have to be true. I can make up any reason to sue you. It's up to you to prove that it's not true. So a lot of times you see people name in the paper, it's domestic, whatever it may be. All you got to do is say it. You know. Now, if you want to retaliate and press charges back on me for something that was untrue, you can do that. You know, it's a lot of mechanisms that you can use, but most people just want to be done with it and get away from there as fast as they can. You know,
can you?
I'll give y'all another
Oh,
example,
go
and,
ahead.
and since I saw Miss Patrice put that down there, I'll give y'all this. We have to be aware of a lot of three strike penalty laws. Your third DUI is a felony. Your third domestic violence is a felony. Those types of things, some things trigger automatic felonies.
Okay.
You know, I talked about expungement. Make sure you guys, it's you can go to One Voice, their website. They're doing expungement. I think tomorrow in Jackson area, so you could probably pull up there. I'll send you the page, and you can post it on your page too.
Yeah.
But most nonviolent felonies can be expunged. Get that off your record so you can get you a better job. even if you got some regular charges on there, they may be able to get off. So when you do your background check, they won't pop up. You understand
What,
what I'm
what
saying?
what
So
about if somebody has something small or misdemeanor in another state? Can you go to this website that you're gonna
right,
send us and
you put your information in and send it to them. The Mississippi Center for Justice, and they will let you know if you qualify, and then you can show up to the actual seminar. They have them all year long, and most people just don't go because they're so afraid.
mm,
And I've been trying to work with them some lately. I'm gonna try to go to some of them. Some of them, you know, a friendly face when you see it. They
mm,
may see Dr. B say, "Hey man, come down here. These people ain't finna bother you."
yeah.
You know, come down there. You give them the information. You do that. They do also heirs property stuff for people as well. It's a free service. It doesn't cost a dime.
But I mean, even if somebody, like, let's say they're here in Mississippi, but they've caught a charge in another state. This website, will it give them the resources to say you go here to
Yeah,
get funds for that?
most places got one just like it in another state.
Okay,
So they may direct you to the Center for Justice in Florida, etc. But
okay.
they'll still try to direct you nonetheless.
Man, that is excellent. That is excellent because I feel like a lot of people. There's Tamarison, what's the name of? Yeah, he's going to send it to. I'm going back and forth between our Instagram site because it's we can't stream directly like the other ones were
Right.
all
Right.
simultaneously, but Instagram is separate. But that's what she sent on Instagram. Yeah, we'll get you the name, Tamara. We'll
Yeah.
get you the name there. But man, that's interesting to know because so many people once a person has gotten arrested and like that stuff shows up,
Yeah.
and especially if you're trying to get like a hospital job or work at a daycare or school, they use
Hmm.
that what is it, like the FBI type system.
They run a background. They're gonna run
Yeah,
that background check
a
on
deep dive, and they
you.
look. Yeah, so, but it's really shameful, like you say, because once you get in the system, it really is. Not that we want to use excuses to talk about the man, but the system really is against you. Once you're in there,
100%.
it's hard to
A
get
hundred
out.
percent. Because if we don't take advantage of any help that we can find, it's just you stuck with it and you walk with it for a long time. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like, even if you find a listing of people that hire felons, that's valuable. So that's why I say anytime I run across information, I try to share it and try to work with organizations that do the work,
Hmm.
because I hate to say, but this is like a funeral home. Somebody going to jail, so I don't have to
Somebody
worry
going,
about losing clients, so to speak.
yeah.
So it doesn't hurt me to give information away. It doesn't hurt me to try to give something back to the community because the money's going to kind of be there. You just got to do the work.
And so, yeah, okay. And then that's my next question is who who pays you? How do you get paid,
We
compensated?
get money directly from the client. I am insured through the Department of Insurance. It could be upward to $1 million. And some of the numbers you hear on TV, these astronomical numbers, most people don't pay that amount. They pay the 10% of the amount, and they probably don't even pay the 10% of the amount because they don't got that. Um, we get a bad rap sometimes because they say it's predatory because
Mm-hmm.
it hurts poor people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's always the question is kind of like what you said earlier. Did you actually do it though?
Mm-hmm.
If you did it, you owe a debt to society,
Yeah,
and you're paying to be free until you go to court. Because the other option is just stay in jail.
sit in jail.
Other states, some states have no bail, but
Mm.
I've traveled around, and you have to be careful with that as well, because basically what that turns into is a privatization. It turns into like a social worker where the person is paid by the state. And so a company, just like my other company, a pretrial services company, would then take over that job.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of you having to pay bail, they gonna collect it in taxpayer money. And so your taxes go up, so you still pay regardless. No matter which way you
You
look at it, you're
still
gonna
paying.
pay. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Do you learn that in
That's
economics?
right. And
So
there's no such thing.
the scary part about no bail to me is that some of these programs that they use to judge who gets bail and who doesn't are computer generated.
Mm-hmm.
And if you tell me that computer AI is inherently racist, that scares me right away.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I just watched a clip on CNN where the lady ended up getting locked up because the facial recognition program misidentified her, and she didn't have nothing to do with it
Come
until she got to court, and they ran socials and all of that in the state that they issued the warrant from.
on. Mm-hmm.
She was just sat in jail because she was listed like she was a fugitive by the computer program, because people don't verify, check behind it. It's like AI. When we use Chat GPT to send an email, if we don't check behind it, it might incorrectly spell something or type something you didn't check.
That's
So
right.
just imagine law enforcement, the judicial system, with a system that works great but may have some errors that could cost people their lives. So it's a double-edged sword. I
Oh,
don't think Jackson, I don't think Hines, I do business in Hines. I don't think they do misdemeanor bonds.
Miss. Okay.
Yeah, you do felony bonds in Jackson, but I don't think they do misdemeanor bonds.
Oh, so in other words, if it's a misdemeanor that you're arrested for, you just bond on your own recognizance.
Yep, you
That,
get like a ticket. You come to court. That's kind of it.
and so the person, like you said, the person pays you. So like
Right.
you post the bail. So like if the bail is I don't know 50,000. So the 10%, the 5,000.
Right.
You pay the jail right there. The five
No, I
thousand.
get my money. That's my money. But I'm insured for over $1 million. So, but the sad part about my job, if the thing goes wrong, they don't want the 10%. They want 50,000.
Oh, okay. So when okay,
Yeah.
so the bail, so can the person who's arrested, can they simply, if they have the money, like say the 5,000, could they simply call their loved one and bring the money and give it to the court, or it doesn't work like that? It
Yeah.
has to go
Some
through
courts
you.
will let you do that. Now, it's really almost a no refund thing either way, because once they assess the fines, they're gonna take that money out of the money you gave them.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So sometimes, and most courts want you to post a full cash bond, not the 10%. So you would have to have 50 instead of the 10.
Hmm.
So some courts, it just depends on where you're at and how they kind of do their process.
Man, this is I'm telling you, it's interesting because I don't, we never get to ask these kind of
Yeah,
questions.
the system. I tell people all the time, the system isn't designed to lose. It doesn't work
Right.
that way. It's just it. I don't care how you slice it and dice it. It's like, again, we're ran through the Department of Insurance, and if you know anything about insurance, they almost don't lose.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it's hard to kind of beat the system, so to speak, because we're just a stopgap. You got to think about, you got to pay an attorney, you got to pay all these different people. So once you start stacking that money up, I see people spend more money than they ever made in their lives, almost trying to get their freedom. You know,
So it's never really a case where you end up having to front the money or something like that, and the client
if
pays.
they don't show up, they gonna want whatever the big number is, not the little number.
Okay.
So we have to be very careful about who we select. I just don't bond anybody.
Okay.
Um, so that you have to be selective. You do your research. Everybody's on social media. I'm gonna search your social media depending on what it is. I got tools I can use, run your background. I can tell you who your mama, daddy, sister, everybody is.
Okay.
So depending on how big the number is, I definitely do my research about
Okay.
who I'm dealing with, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. This is vital information, man. I mean, because like I said, that's why we bring guests like you on here, man. Like different people that do different things, because you just don't have access to that. Just like even with what I do, people might know a lot of doctors or whatnot, or
Right.
we've seen a lot of doctors, but for us to be able to come on here, we say, hey, there's no question off limits, and you've got access to us, So
Yeah, yeah. A big saying that we like to say, I learned it from another older bondsman, is ask me now for free, because later is 10%. So any question y'all got, go on and ask now,
okay,
because
later, yeah,
because if you need it later, it's probably gonna be 10%. It's
it's
too
gonna be
late
ten
then.
percent. Well, a couple other quick questions before we get out of here. So, what would you say? I want to talk about community health and safety. Um,
Mhm.
what role do local businesses and leaders play in creating safer, healthier neighborhoods? What role do they play?
I think the biggest part of all of it is we have to put the money back.
Hmm.
you got to put the money back. I look at a city like Jackson. It's any city really, but especially with Jackson because most people can relate because they keep it on the news so much. They down Jackson on a regular basis, but if Jackson wasn't valuable, they wouldn't even talk about it. So it's something there that they want, but the
Mm-hmm.
only way to fix it is to put money back into it. But when people block it, it makes the community feel like it's a lost cause. But the community has to put the money back themselves, whether it's little by little, whether it's by keeping your own streets clean, um, doing what you can to restore. I saw a guy that was going around Jackson cleaning up stuff. They picked up the boat that was down there. I think it was by McDowell somewhere. Like things like that are very important. You know, you don't want to just, even in big town or small town, you don't just want to see your council people sit up there and collect the check and argue every month for some money
That's
and
right.
nothing happens. You want to see things in action, things that benefit the whole community. So we have to hold our religious leaders accountable, our community leaders accountable, because you got to think one thing black neighborhoods we got is a bunch of schools and a bunch of churches, and them two places that don't pay no taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's right. That's right.
you can have a $1 million church sitting in a black neighborhood, but it knows nothing about the community.
Which you would think the opposite. A big church is sitting sometimes in the center of the community, inner city. You would think that that's kind of the all roads lead to the church.
Because they are in the community, but they're not part of the community. That's what we have. You see what I'm saying? Like
Mm,
when we talk about these little
in the community, but not
stores on the corner, them little corner stores, you know, we call them the juice store, whatever you
the
want to
juice
call
store.
them.
That's right, right.
They put most of them, I don't want to say all, most don't put any money back into the community. But it's the closest thing we have to a grocery store. So we'll walk there, give them the money like it's nothing. Let them cash your check, do all
That's
type
right.
of things for you.
All kind of stuff.
Services that they don't provide. But if you walk to that same store and say, hey, we want to sponsor little Johnny's baseball team, they won't give you a dime
Nope.
because they have a business in the community, but they are not of that community. They
Mm,
live they live in Madison. They don't
that's
even
right.
stay where you stay.
Yep. That's right.
You see what I'm saying? But they'll call you buddy, friend every day.
Yep.
So we
Brother,
have to be
brother,
wary
sister.
of that. I think we have to hold everybody accountable, no matter who you are. You know, nobody's really above reproach, and I think that's what we fall into a trap at. We scared to say something to the politician. We scared to say something to the preacher, out of respect. But with all due respect, they don't respect the community. So somebody's grandma scraping up their last $75 to pay some tithes, and you
Hmm.
ain't doing nothing.
Not a darn thing.
I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. Like
Yep.
nothing's coming into the community. They not no clothing drive, no food drive, no. They just collect the money. You know, so I think we have to be very hold everybody accountable. If I see Doc, you making all this money, you doing a lot, I'm gonna say, hey man, come with me this weekend. We finna go to this thing downtown and they doing like a little give back thing, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't make it, I gotta work. All right, send $50. Send
Mm-hmm.
$100.
Right. Mm-hmm.
See, some of us are financial givers or the tool. Some of us are the hands that do the work.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But we can't look down on each other because you may be great with your hands and you can build a house, but if Doc ain't at work and if I ain't at work, we can't do nothing. So we can send some money to fill that gap. Again, you got to fill them gaps. So everybody got a different role. I just think we got to play our role and be okay with it, and don't worry about what the other person doing. Just say, hey, can you help in any type of way?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what we got to do. I think just put that money back in the community. Community will take care of itself.
Absolutely. Well, one other thing. My last question was, if you could give one powerful message to the youth and one message to parents right now, tonight, what would that message be to the youth and what would it be to the parents in closing?
It's I guess it's kind of closely related, and that's you're gonna be older a lot longer than you're gonna be younger.
Hmm.
And when you really look at it, we only spend about 18 to 20 years being young.
That's right.
After that, you're on your own. And if you
21
destroy any
downhill.
of that time,
Mm-hmm.
you lose a lot. And that's to the youth and to the parents both. And when you talk about trouble, I look at it like this because I don't think anybody thinks about the butterfly effect that happens where they say if a butterfly flaps its wing, it causes a tsunami somewhere else. That's what happens a lot of time with criminal charges.
Mm-hmm.
Little Johnny got in trouble, but it started a butterfly effect because mama took some money and paid this. So now she missing money to pay another bill. And now it's causing stress on grandma. Now
Mm-hmm.
grandma got to go see Dr. B because her chest hurting every day. It affects your whole everything. Something small. It affects your health, mentally, physically. All of it triggers,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And depending on what it is, man, I really we got to protect these kids because, especially our inner city kids and our black kids, we see things that are not natural to us.
That's
Most
right.
of us, by the age 15, 16, we know somebody that's either been to jail for murder or like a violent crime, or we've witnessed one,
Yeah.
which in some cultures it just don't happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you got to protect these kids, man, the best y'all can. Don't feel ashamed about protecting your kid because once they gone, they gone. Like we just talked, once the system get their hands on them,
It's
it's
over with.
very hard to retrieve them.
Yeah, it's over with.
It's very hard. Hopefully, I ain't bore y'all too much, man.
Oh
I'm
no,
trying
man.
to
This is
keep it
this,
interesting.
yeah, this is great. That's why I went off script a couple of times, man, because I wanted to know about some of these things myself, and see what happens in our system. And it's crazy how against us it really is. Well, look, I know we're right on time, right at 8.
Right.
Man, usually what I'll do is have the guests to stay on maybe 5 minutes afterwards, so we can just kind of talk offline if that's okay with you.
Yeah. I'm straight. I'm good.
Well, in closing, look, I would love for you, Jarvis, to take it away, man. And I want to give you a couple of minutes here to just let everyone know who you are, how you can be reached. I always say whether or not you're taking on new clients. I guess you always are, but
Always taking new clients.
yeah. But yeah,
So
your
you
name of your
can
company, how
reach
you
me
can
on
be reached.
Facebook at Confidential Bonding, uh, or at Sparrow Court Services. That's a different business. If you're just looking for me regularly, you can just search Jarvis J Robinson on Facebook. You can also just Google Confidential Bonding. We'll pop straight up. Um, we never technically close, so the phone's always on. If you press call on any of those websites, it literally calls my phone. So look, that's where my health comes in because I got to get me some mental health. I go see my therapist because this phone wear me to death, man, and make sure I go see my doctor.
That's excellent. And if you don't have a primary doctor, if you don't have a primary one, you got one now.
Look, I just stepped up and got me one not long ago. I'm
You
in my
joking?
40s, so I did the colonoscopy and all that thing and got it all out the way. And so
Mm,
now I'm trying to push my friends to do it because I got cancer in my family. So you know,
excellent.
I definitely promote people doing it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. The prep was horrible, but the procedure wasn't bad.
Look, man, hey, shout out, man, to you for doing that. And honestly, look, so, we hope and pray everything was normal because
It was fine.
you already, man, praise God. Look, Dr. Justin Turner, man, we're very close in age, but I guess I might still call him somewhat of a mentor, or say slightly big brother. He's got me by maybe 1 or 2 years, but man, trailblazer in the community, always been active, just all around good guy. And he invited me to this medical, like a drug rep dinner. And there was the company, is it Garden, and they actually make, I believe this is the first one of its kind where you can basically test the blood without doing colonoscopy, without
Mm,
taking your stool and smearing it and sending it in that
yeah.
FedEx box was kind of awkward. You can actually get a blood test for this, and if it's negative, you don't need anything else for 3 years. No colonoscopy, nothing.
You can't beat that.
Man. So anyway, shout out to the Garden Company and Dr. Justin Turner. Well, look. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another fantastic episode of Telehealth Tuesday. First of all, let's go ahead and give it up for our guest, Jarvis Robert. That was, yeah, man, we truly enjoyed it. We appreciate you being on, and I know you'll stay by real quick. So in closing, I want to just let you know, again, this has been another amazing episode of Telehealth Tuesday, where we're here for your listening and viewing pleasure and edification. And we always try to make this interactive. So we're here each and every Tuesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. God forbid anything happening, but knock on wood, it has not. This is episode 86. And so thank you so much to all of you all for being there and being amazing supporters. Next week, we're going to have another phenomenal guest. I want just make sure you stay tuned. That's why you got to follow, share, tag, like, and subscribe to make sure you know who's coming on next weekend. So again, we're going to give it to you one more time. Dr. B TV, DOCTOR, the letter B TV, and that is our YouTube page. Make sure to share, tag, like, but most importantly, subscribe. If you want to be a guest on the show or you know someone who would be phenomenal, feel free to drop us a line, DM, or email us, goodfaithwellnesscenter@gmail.com. And lastly, we are taking new patients at Good Faith Wellness Center. If you've got insurance, great. Right now, we are taking all insurance. And if you don't have insurance, well, we've got a plan for you. I've got a $99 a month plan for individuals, and that's unlimited visits to the clinic. You won't find that nowhere. Your cell phone bills more than Jarvis. Your cell phone bills more than $99.
Man, listen, that's less than the cost to get out of jail. So you're doing good.
Oh man, yeah, that's less than that 10%. So you need to come on, stay out of jail and come to Good Faith Wellness Center. So God willing, we'll see you always on a Tuesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Central sharp. This is the place where we treat and discuss mind, body, and soul. And remember that true wealth begins with good health. We'll see you on next Tuesday. Hello, I'm Dr. Michael Bookhardt. Come join us at our newest clinic location at Good Faith Wellness Center. We provide compassionate health care for your entire family, from virtual visits to office appointments. We're committed to providing the best care. We accept all insurances, and we provide monthly wellness plans. Let's start your family journey to a healthier, happier life. Schedule your appointment today. And remember, true wealth begins with good health.